Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another learning video. Do you know that couple of weeks back, US FDA has issued Form 483 to Sipila Goa facility. I guess those who are working in US FDA approved plants, they might be aware of this. So well friends, Goa facility of the Sipila Limited was inspected by US FDA in the month of August from 16th of August to 26th of August 2022. It was almost 9 days audit if you exclude Saturdays and Sundays. So there were 3 auditors who conducted the audit and their names were Justin A. Boyd, Teresa I. Navas and U.S. Jonah. So guys, these 3 auditors has given total 6 number of observations. Before we get into the details of all observations, let me tell you one thing that these 3 auditors has also inspected Sun Pharma Mohali facility in the month of August 2022, where they have given 6 number of observations. If you want to know more about Sun Pharma Mohali facility observations, then you can check the video link given in the description. With that note, let's get started with today's video. Observation number 1. Aseptic processing areas were deficient regarding the system for monitoring environmental conditions. Under this observation, auditors observed that the environmental monitoring of aseptic filling area was not adequate. From August 2018 to January 2019, there were multiple cases of the environmental excursions, that is, higher microorganisms counts were observed, which were more than the accepted level. This has led to the rejection of several batches. So, investigations were carried out and concluded that the environmental excursions were due to sampling errors. However, adequate actions were not taken to prevent such sampling errors. Later on, company has made changes to the environmental monitoring studies where it was proposed to discontinue the environmental monitoring of some of the critical locations of grade A area where environmental excursions were observed. Auditors also observed that the company has released batches to the US market despite presence of the microbial growth as they met the grade C requirements but not grade A. So this was the observation number 1, and this observation has been classified as a repeated observation because similar observation was given by the US FDA in August 2019 to Sipila Goa facility. Observation number 2. Procedures designed to prevent microbiological contamination of drug products did not include adequate validation of aseptic process. Under this observation, auditors found that smoke study was not performed for one of the filling line. Smoke studies are generally carried out to establish proper airflow, which will later prevent contamination of the aseptic manufacturing area. Like observation number 1, observation number 2 has also been classified as a repeat observation. And here you can see the statement mentioned in the Form 483. Inadequate smoke studies of aseptic area is a repeat observation from Feb 2020 warning letter. Those who don't know, in Feb 2020, Sipila Goa facility was issued warning letter by the US FDA. I have given the link in the description. If you want, you can check the warning letter. Observation number 3. Aseptic processing areas were deficient regarding the system for cleaning and disinfecting procedures. Under this observation, auditors observed that on 18th of August 2022, while cleaning of the filling machine, operator has not ensured the cleaning of all the parts properly. If machine parts are not cleaned properly, then it can lead to the contamination. Along with this, auditors observed that the cleaning procedure details were not comprehensive enough. Further, auditors also observed that a disinfection procedure was not qualified to establish effectiveness. So observation number 3 has also been classified as a repeated observation because similar observation was given by the US FDA in August 2019 to Sipila Goa facility. Observation number 4. Appropriate controls were not exercised over computers or related systems to assure that the changes in the master production and control records are instituted only by the authorized personnel. Under this observation, auditors observed that common shared password was used for HMI of filling machine, and there was no provision of audit trail log. Along with this, auditors also observed that there was no provision for the data printing or transfer of the electronic data. Auditors observed that the critical machine parameters were not documented or established during the machine qualification. Second example quoted by the auditors under observation number 4 is related to the electronic laboratory notebooks. So auditors found that electronic laboratory notebooks were used to document the analysis data, but there was no audit trails provisions available for the electronic laboratory notebooks. If analyst makes any changes during the data entry, it will not trigger any event on the audit trail log. In such scenarios, QC data reviewer will not be able to determine whether data is original or modified. Observation number 5. The responsibilities and the procedures applicable to quality control unit were not in writing and fully followed. Under this observation, auditors observed that the procedures for reviewing electronic data and audit trials of various equipments and the instruments were deficient. Written procedures do not identify and describes the items specific to software to ensure that the reviewers will effectively recognize and evaluate the relevant entries in the electronic data and audit trail. For example, auditors has verified the audit trail log of NVISIL software of non-viable particle counter and lab solution software of UV instrument. During the verification of audit trail logs of these softwares, auditor has asked reviewers to explain the meaning of certain terminologies which were used in the audit trail log. But reviewer was not able to explain the meaning of certain terms which were used in the audit trail log. So this is the reason auditors mention that written procedures do not identify and describe the items specific to software to ensure that the reviewers will effectively recognize and evaluate the relevant entries in the electronic data and the audit trail. Along with this observation, auditors verified the list of the approved users and they found that list of the approved users was not matching with the active users list in the software. Now let us understand another example quoted under observation number 5, and this observation is related to the chromatographic data review. So guys, auditors has reviewed the SOP related to the good chromatographic practices, according to which software functional head need to review chromatographic data to ensure that there is no data manipulation and there is no improperly integrated data. So auditors found that software functional head has reviewed 9 sequences from August to October 2021, 12 sequences were reviewed from November to January 2022, and 15 sequences were reviewed from Feb to April 2022. Now auditors asked on what basis these number of sequences were selected for review. This clarity was not there in the SOP. Observation number 6. Procedures for cleaning and the maintenance of the equipments were deficient regarding the maintenance and cleaning schedules. So guys, these were the 6 observations which were issued by the US FDA to Cipla Limited Goa facility. Out of these 6 observations, 3 observations were repeated. Observation number 1, 2 and 3 were mentioned as a repeat observations. There are so many examples quoted by the auditors in Form 483 against each observation, and I have covered few of them. If you want more details about these observations, then you can check the link given in the description, or you can visit the US FDA website to download the Form 483. So this is it for today. Hope you have learned something new today. Bye bye and happy learning.